Hey guys, it's Mr. Miraie here, and in today's video I have for you guys a brand new top 10 list. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about 10 manga slash manhwa where the main character is seeking revenge and badass. Now all I ask from you guys before we get into this list is to like the video, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications to get notified of my latest uploads. Also, if you guys have any top 10 list videos you'd like me to make, or manhwa slash manga slash manhwa you would want me to add into this video, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. Now all that said, let's get straight into the video. Now at number 10 we have Chronicles of Heavenly Demon. The successor of the Spear Master sect and his apprentice Hyuk Won-seung were framed of learning a forbidden demonic art and slayed, a helpless and pitiful death by the hypocrites of the Orthodox sect. The moment Won-seung faces death, the artifact of the Spear Master sect emitted light and gave him a new life. That is, the life as number 900, a trainee of the demonic cult. Now having two identities, one as the member of the Orthodox sect and the other as a member of the demonic cult, but his true objective is one, and that is vengeance. Accepting his destiny and remembering his grudge, Won-seung trains in martial arts, and his time of revenge slowly comes closer. Take over the demonic cult and punish the hypocrites of the Orthodox sect. The revenge story of number 900, Won-seung growing in tasks of life and death. This manhwa is a cultivation manhwa, and I have to say it is one of the best cultivation manhwas out there. The art is absolutely fantastic and the story is one of the best out there. Seriously, if you guys would like to read cultivation manhwa where the MC is seeking revenge and badass, this is definitely the one for you. Now at number 9 we have To Deprive, a Deprived Person. Sito Yu is a 12-year-old boy that is abused violently by his father. One day he is transported into a fantasy world with video game mechanics after being killed by his abusive father, and he discovers that he has the ability to steal other people's skills for his own use. He quickly uses his special powers to take revenge on the town people who bully him and obtain a harem of beautiful girls who love him unconditionally even though he shows no romantic interest in any of them and has the physical build of a skinny teenager. Now at number 8 we have Goblin Slayer. A young priestess has formed her first adventuring party, but almost immediately they find themselves in distress. It's the Goblin Slayer who comes to the rescue, a man who has dedicated his entire life to the extermination of all goblins by any means necessary. And when rumors of his feats begin to circulate, there's no telling who might come calling next. As the story progresses, we learn why our main character has to hate these goblins and why he's trying to take revenge upon them and exterminate all of them. This is a hands down one a very refreshing story, so if you do want to read some really refreshing manga, do read Goblin Slayer, but do be prepared for some sort of violent scenes. On number 7 we have Onani Monster Kurosawa. 14-year-old Kakakeru Kurosawa is an antisocial junior high school student who looks down on his classmates. But beneath his superiority complex is a hopeless young teenager who uses as a pastime. Using erotic thoughts of his female classmates as stimulus, he locks himself daily in a seldom used girls' bathroom at school to do his dirty deed. One day during class, Kurosawa witnesses the popular girls bullying the timid Ai Kitahara. Although not one to be riled over such matters, he decides to deliver retribution with his own hands. In a daring move, he steals the uniforms of the bullies and dispenses his white justice over them. Although satisfied with his exploits, Kurosawa's troubles are only just beginning. While going about his daily routine, he is suddenly confronted by Kitahara, who identifies him as the culprit behind the uniform incident, and blackmails him into terrorizing the other girls in the class the same way he dealt with their bullies. Left with little choice, Kurosawa agrees, and thus begins a coming-of-age story that deals with consequences, bullying, and people's ability to change. I decided to include this manga on the list because it is a very different sort of manga where our character is seeking revenge against the bullies, and it is a very intellectually psychological driven plot. So if you're here for a strong male character who comes in and saves the day, it is definitely not the story, but if you love a psychologically intense story, then do pick this up. Now number 6 we have Vengeance of the Heavenly Demon. Mu Tianran has been set up, his martial skills crippled at the hands of his own brother. Not only that, he's been rejected by his own family, who tortured him only to finally disown him and throw him out. And all this because he has a bloodline of a slave. At the lowest point of his life, a mysterious man arrives to mentor him and help him develop his own hidden talents. It turns out that his bloodline, which is so repugnant to mankind, is actually a gift from the heavens called the Heavenly Demon Bloodline, making Mu Tianran an extremely rare child said to be favored by the gods themselves. As he grows stronger, Mu Tianran begins a journey to wreak vengeance on those who had shamed him in the past. Now number 5, you have Kill the Hero. One day, the world transformed into a game. Dungeons and monsters emerged in the middle of cities, and players who had received the god's authority appeared. One day, a hero appeared in the shape of the guild master of the Messiah Guild, Sejun Lee. He was set to bring salvation to the world. Let us save the world together. Let's put an end to this nightmare. The whole world celebrated the hero's appearance, and I became his comrade. But he wasn't a hero, nor a messiah like the world was hailing him. He was a deceitful hero with a secret ambition to rule the world. You did well. If it weren't for you, I couldn't have come up till here. I lost my life at his blade in the last dungeon. Or so I thought. The announcement I heard next to my ear the moment I died is starting the game. I returned to the past back when I still hadn't awakened as a player, and this time it's my turn to hunt him. So Kill the Hero is a manhwa with a revenge-based plot where our main character is reincarnated to take revenge upon those who had wronged him. It is a pretty decent manhwa. It has over 40 chapters and the art is pretty good, so do check this out. Now number 4, we have Tomb Raider King. The god's tomb started to appear around the world. Due to relics within these tombs, many were able to wield these legendary powers for themselves, while the others became enslaved to these users. However, a Tomb Raider appeared with the purpose of robbing these relics, the Tomb Raider King. So Tomb Raider King is a very large man with over 177 chapters, I believe, so you guys want to binge read something, definitely go for this one. It is a pretty interesting story, I have to say, with a solo leveling like aspect to it, with the shape of the system he has in place and the system around the whole tombs in the world and stuff like that. I think it's pretty interesting. So do check this one out if you like manhwa similar to solo leveling, as well as a manhwa to binge. Now number 3, we have the Rising of the Shield Hero. Naofumi Iwatani, an ardent charismatic otaku who spends his days on games and manga, suddenly finds himself summoned to a parallel universe. He discovers he is one of the 4 heroes equipped with legendary weapons and is tasked with saving the world from its destruction. As a shield hero, he is said to be the weakest of all the heroes. But all is not as it seems. Naofumi is soon alone, penniless and betrayed. With no one to turn to and nowhere to run, he is left with only his shield. Now, Naofumi must rise to become the legendary shield hero and save the world. Rising of the Shield Hero, in my opinion, has to be one of the best Shonen Jump manga ever. It is an absolutely brilliant manga, and you haven't read it, please read this. If you don't want to read it, watch the anime. It's also pretty good, and honestly God, it is a super interesting story about how he gets, like the first couple of chapters when he gets betrayed and all the bad shit he has to go through and all the shitty things that happen to him in this manga and all like the sweet revenge he gets is so satisfying. So please do check this out if you want a satisfying revenge story. Now number 2, we have Tales of Demons and God. Ni Li, one of the strongest demon spiritists in his past life, standing at the pinnacle of the martial world. However, he lost his life during the battle with the Sage Emperor and his 6th deity ranked beast. His soul was then reborn back in time to when he was still 13. Although he's the weakest in his class with the lowest talent at only Red Soul Realm, with the aid of his vast knowledge which he had accumulated in his previous life, he trained faster than anyone, trying to protect the city which in the coming future was being assaulted by beasts and ended up being destroyed, as well as protecting his lover, friends and family who died by the beast assault, and to destroy the sacred family who abandoned their duty and betrayed the city in his past life. So Tales of Demon God is a very famous cultivation manhwa, and while the main objective of the story isn't actually revenge, there's a large part of it that is, fueled by him trying to get revenge on the secret family and the Dark Guild. Now number 1, we have God of Blackfield. The legend of French Foreign Legion, Kang Chan, during the African War. He was called the God of Blackfield, the Blacklands God, by his enemies who were terrified but in awe of him. However, during a mission to kill Masalan, the brain behind SISS, the group of Sunny supporters, Kang Chan was killed in action by an unknown bullet shot from behind him. As his vision got blurry, he saw his 13 team members, who had absolute faith in him, getting killed one after another. As Kang Chan was awaiting death, after being shot by a traitor, he was saved by a mysterious power and woke up 3 years later in South Korea. However, he is in the body of another Kang Chan, a 19-year-old high school boy who was being bullied at school. Kang Chan's journey to get revenge on the traitor and to find out the truth behind his rebirth begins now. And that, my friends, is all the manga and manhwa I have for you guys today. Again, if you did like this list, why not smash the like button and subscribe for more content. Leave any future video suggestions you'd like to see in the comment section down below. And with all that said guys, I've been Mr. Miraie and I'll see you all in the next video.